Well, how's it going, Kingston? Welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. I hope you guys are all doing well. Man, I feel like it's a broken record every week. I'm like, I'm sorry, I haven't uploaded it so long, but life is just, it's kind of crazy, and you know, that's all I can say. I don't got much. It's kind of lame, but we are back. I'll get a couple videos out hopefully before I go back to work. Today we have another Aspern-Essling battlefield map. We have the French. You have an 11-point Eugen, 11-point Lanz. You have the 8-point Bavaria, and then the 6-point Württemberg. Oh man, you know, I think about these two factions as I feel like we've seen them more recently. I was gushing about how good the uniforms are and all that. Lanz is actually doing a very interesting strategy. He started right here in Essling, I believe. And, you know, you have Eugen pushing over to him, but he is rolling straight out towards the Austrian lines. Now, Austria already pushing, well, trying to skirmish them down a little bit, maybe. You can see the army's actually falling back. He probably is like, oh, hold the foe. We're supposed to be attacking here. You guys aren't supposed to be attacking. This is supposed to be you defend the town, and we surround you and kill you a little bit at a time. But no, that's not happening today. Lanz is going very aggressive. Now, I should have mentioned this right before, but it is a clan battle. So I believe it is the Napoleonics as the coalition versus, I think this is Rheinbund. I'm seeing a couple different, I see a Buck and Ball clan member in here. Ooh, we have some cavalry charging, some voltigeurs. I think actually, yeah, he's going to run them down still. No, but I believe it is Rheinbund versus Napoleonics. Rheinbund being the French. Oh yeah, that skirmisher is definitely dead as a doornail. Or no, or not. Oh, or so. Poor guys. But you can see, guys, this battle literally just started and it already is heating up. I love this. I love this. And there are some really good kills on both sides. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to work. Now, Eugen has a very important job. Eugen has to protect Lanz's flank. You can see Austria actually starting to make some advances on the left flank of Lanz. Lanz, of course, in the forest. He's making a huge push here, getting very aggressive. Austria trying to volley them down. He's throwing forward some infantry as well. As France maybe is going to get encircled here. I guess we will see. I mean, he's pushing out. Maybe he's going to fall back now. If anything, he needs to put up a strong flank here. We do have some of that Württemberg cavalry. But yeah, Austria rolling straight towards Lanz's flank. Now, a lot of cav play. You see Eugen has some dragoons defending that side. A lot of dragoons, actually. Then you got the General Lanz himself, the Brave. Some grenadiers who are going to be pushing on that flank as well. France still pushing. Austria still running away at this time. I mean, they're just doing a retreating battle, seeing who can shoot. Both sides seem to be shooting right now. See, the thing is, Austria does not want to get too close to the French. He does not want to get meleeed. So he's going to keep falling back. A nice artillery placement, though, with what looks like some maybe 6 or 3-pounders. Firing on the flank on the French. Man, I don't know what Lanz is doing, but man, he's scaring the Austrians. Now the rest of Austria has formed up here. This could actually be bad for the French if they're not careful. Now right now there's plenty of distance between themselves and the French, except right here where they actually are pushing, which is good. And you can see Eugen pushing in, and actually Austria may be in danger pretty soon here, especially with the cavalry pushing over. I'm watching the cav play, guys. Lanz, I think, is shifting forces as well over to here. This looks like a weak point in the line. Austria should probably fall back from this. I mean, this huge mass assault column, I would have run away already. Look at this. It's all going straight at them. Why are they not moving? Run away, Austria. Run away. They need to run away. They're about to get caught by some dragoons, and it's going to be over. This army is going to get rolled into the ground, unfortunately. Oh, nothing can stop the columns of French. Oh, we are still just a steady push. France just constantly firing. Austria may actually be starting to push troops forward to engage as well, but here we go. The cavalry is going to start engage. Oh my goodness, you have 3 armies converging on this poor Austrian line. Dragoons are going to smack into this line, and they're going to fall back before they get volleyed. Yeah, guys, not good. This is not good. No good. Austria should not take this right now. They really shouldn't. This is a lot of French just looking to roll into this Austrian line. So many French soldiers here. And then you have Württemberg on the flank. So either way, and cavalry. Oh my gosh, this is about a disaster. Austria cannot, they need cavalry here. That's the only way they're going to save themselves from the French assault. And here it goes. Dragoons going in. Austria putting up a brave front though, firing them. Shooting them in the face. Nice screen of skirmishers there to start dealing with this. They're shifting more troops over to this side. Oh, we have cavalry here. Austria has cav. Now we do have the 25th closing into melee here. But they're getting flanked here. They're going to break them. Alright, so well done by Austria, taking that first fight. Man, it's starting to range all along here. Württemberg getting on the flank here. Austria is in trouble here, guys. Very, very big trouble. Now, we do have some skirmishers who got getting charged here. But still, France is now trying to go in for the bayonet. Now, there is some heavy across the air. I do believe Liechtenstein is on the field today, so that could be him. Either way, you can see Austria. They're trying to pull back. They are... Ooh. They're probably going to charge in their heavy cav. They do form a square, but still... Beautiful, heavy cav charge. Now they're going to fall back as France, well, they are just basically going to keep walking forward, guarantee you. Huge gun battery. This is going to be a problem for France unless they can deal with it. Or just walk around it, which is exactly what I think they're starting to do here. Oh my goodness, man. The coalition are totally caught out of position, and now the Dragoons are going to go right in on infantry and cavalry here from Austria. Austria happen to fall back once again.
Our men are running.
This is just a screen skirm over here, guys. All skirmishers, except for 1 or 2 lines, just to deal with this Austrian army, while the main portion of this fight happens here. Now, France looks like they are actually pulling back, as that was going to become very messy very quickly. And now the artillery is going to have its field day. You can see blasting away Lanz's front line that is starting to form up here. Yeah, artillery is going to start wreaking havoc here. France is definitely pulling back. They do not want to have to deal with that. They definitely pushed the Austrians back. A significantly large amount of ground was lost by Austria. Now they can look to start regaining it. They have kind of seemed to have stabilized quite a bit here. Württemberg on the field. However, Bavaria is not here yet, guys. So the French are probably, once they get Bavaria, maybe they're going to push on this flank. Maybe they'll just reinforce Württemberg, as he is a 6-pointer. So they have the 8 and 6 maybe on one side of the Austrian line. We'll see. We'll see here. The French are definitely, we see a general withdrawal along the entire line. That artillery that Austria threw up seems to have done very well here. You know, I wish this was did well enough so that I can see all the models and you zoom in at whatever. I can get some amazing screenshots if, you know, the troops didn't like just have seizures constantly like that. You know, it is the nature of having too many models on the field for this poor game to handle. So both sides, man, after that very, very awesome looking potential clash, which, by the way, Austria seemed to do very well on that. Like, props to them for, I mean, they were getting hit by infantry and cavalry for a little bit. I thought they were about to be mass rolled and routed on that side. They managed to foot it very well. I don't think anyone's taken any routing troops. Has anyone routed? Ooh, this Austrian cav behind the lines. Yeah, no one, for as much fighting as has happened, nobody has broken. No one is routing off the field yet. And that is a significant amount of troops dead so far. And that's a significant amount of dead soldiers here. It's just a lot of French. A lot of French dead. I mean, there's some Austrians definitely in here as well. Yeah, that's a lot of French. That's right there. France definitely took some losses. Now there's definitely some Austrian losses as well. Now it does look like we have Lanz shifting over all by himself. So he's shifting his entire army to the right flank to do battle himself, while all three other armies are shifting to the left. Eugen pushing. You have Lefebvre. Pretty sure I butchered that, but the Bavaria and the Württemberg, you can see we have the Austrian line mirroring them. This looks like it is Liechtenstein. Yep, Liechtenstein is mirroring them, so Liechtenstein is going to take the brunt of this army. He has grenadiers and heavy cavalry. It's very powerful, I believe 11-pointer. Very fun to play, though. Definitely someone I do not like taking because it's a lot of responsibility. But boy, if they're played right, they can really shift the scales, let me tell you. And then there's the Imperials mirroring their movements, and Bavaria pushing up. And we're going to have our first little clash here with some light infantry. Alright, we got a very, very obvious assault in progress here. Oh my goodness, this is where the assault is gonna roll. Look at this. This is geared up for an assault. If you see this, be careful, be ready. That's an assault column if you've ever seen one. Reserve upon reserve upon reserve upon front line. Well, actually, technically reserve over there too. We have cavalry going for the artillery. Beautifully executed, taking out those 12-pounders. It looks like they'll lose their cavalry though. May actually not lose that artillery piece. Wow. Still though, France is going to go in here, and there is not a lot of heavy cav. You can see Liechtenstein's actually going to be spread pretty thin here. He's not going to have a lot of places to have his heavy cav defending. He's getting attacked from at least 2 to 3 different areas. And we have the skirmishers, Lanz pushing forward. It does look like we have Austria almost denying or ignoring the left flank and shifting reinforcements over here. They have spread the coalition rather thinly, and the coalition maybe should have stuck together a little bit more. Although I bet this is at least 2, if not 3. Excuse me. 3 Austrian armies here. Yeah, this looks like a very, very serious attack the French are making. It seems very, very intentional. Ooh, we have cavalry and infantry going in here. A square is formed. The 112th does a melee here. Actually, it looks like they paused, give a volley, and now we're going to charge in here. Look at that flanking volley that Austria is giving, though.
Our men are
breaking them almost immediately. Yep, here we go. Eugen going to go in for the bayonet here. The problem is France keeps getting shot in the flank whenever they charge for bayonet. Ooh, now that's some brutal close quarters shooting. However, Austria is probably going to win a bit of that shootout. Now, we do have a heavy cav that did charge in here. Squares were formed by Bavaria, making that a very easy fight. France is now... Oh, my goodness. The volleys that Austria has been sending off are just brutal. But France does seem to be making some headway, but not without some heavy, heavy casualties being inflicted on them. But they are going to keep pushing forward. Look at the flanking volleys, though, that Austria keeps providing. Now we have cavalry in the back lines as well. A nice flanking charge, the 84th on this Austrian line. France is taking a beating here, guys. Trying to make it work. Now, over on this side, maybe we have Lons pushing forward. I'm not totally sure. We'll check back on that one in just a second. Still have France trying to go in for the bayonet. You have Austria. Ooh, Austria charging in on the French and Bavarian line, as well as a grenadier charge. So Austria is not going to be silenced. They are going full ham into this French line, trying to break that center. We'll see how well that works. France still trying to charge in here. Looks like we get a bit of cav engagement here. Some dragoons charging in, tying up many Austrian lines. Lons is pushing forward as well, trying to maybe go for this Austrian flank. France is still trying to push here. Oh my goodness, Austria full on Liechtenstein assault. As we can see here, Bavaria broke, Liechtenstein doing quite well, and now the cav and grenadiers have just obliterated the first Bavarian line. However, I do believe Eugen is making some progress here. Lons is going to be almost behind the Austrian line here. And France seems to be, yep, they are way, like, Liechtenstein has to fall back because he has troops way behind the French lines. Oh, the volleys. Oh my gosh, France is just, they're going into a meat grinder. Here we go, though. Lons is making a rescue attempt here. He's going for this rear. I don't see, I mean, the French are running out of reinforcements, guys. They're running out of forces pretty fast here. We have cavalry wreaking havoc on Württemberg's flank. This looks bad. France is not in a good, I mean, they have good positioning right now, and they are destroying a contingent of Austrians that are surrounded. Look at this. They're surrounded from two sides. But still, I mean, France has taken some pretty heavy losses just to get to this point. However, I do see cavalry going in from Bavaria. This left flank has collapsed, but Württemberg does have cavalry and infantry to throw forward again, so France seems to still have some reserve forces left. Liechtenstein looks like he's trying to counter. On this side, Austria is now starting to push on the flank as Lons starts just pushing forward into this whole melee. And we see from a kind of zoomed out view here. So you have this fight, actually that makes it more complicated. France is actually smashing through Liechtenstein's lines, pushing forward. He has a Bavarian reserve, so we get some Austrian cav in the back. This right flank is doing okay. They did break that first initial Württemberg attack, but Württemberg is thrown forward more reserves, so Austria is having to forcibly fall back just because their center is starting to collapse. The center over here, not looking too hot. France has made quite a push. Lons and Eugen making quite the push. Austria seems to have pushed up another line of defense. We can see France, they have the 21st deep in that line, as well as more. The 30th going for artillery. Austria pushing on the flank, as Lanz is going to probably have just a small contingent to just stop the Austrians from coming to the rescue. And things are swiftly turning in favor of the French again. Austria still has forces, but he needs to get in a position. The problem is France just keeps throwing themselves deeper into the Austrian line, so when they reform defense, they already have troops in almost their rear, or on their flank at least, which is making it very difficult for them to actually make a stand because they're flanked.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
You see more and more troops. They have their L6s chasing down some Austrians. Austria still trying to make their stand. You see Württemberg on the flank. Austria is probably going to go towards this LOC, this little villa, and try to make their right flank hold there. They do have cavalry, which actually is doing quite well. We have Austria also pushing on the flank, but all of the French are concentrated in this one area. But thankfully there's a reserve that can stop and force the Austrians back as needed. Ooh, that was a nice charge by the Austrians, breaking that initial assault by Lanz. Buying Austria a little bit of time. More cavalry charge again on some more Austrians. Basically the French cannot afford to let the Austrians reform. Now look at it, see what I mean? Like they formed a line, there's already French right here. And another cav charge. Square is formed. It does appear that we have some grenadiers making the stand here. Bavaria, Württemberg still pushing here. This LLC is going to be very tough to take. Oh my goodness. Yeah, France is going full on still. The flanking cavalry, though, is going to be very difficult for them to deal with. But France just, despite the heavy losses, they kept pushing forward. That is what they had to do. I guarantee you guys, if Austria had been given one chance, like 3 minutes to reform their lines, if France had not pursued at some point, it would have been the opposite direction. I think the French would have lost. You can see still the death and destruction being inflicted on this French line is still quite brutal. They are still losing a huge amount of their forces each time. And the cavalry on the flank and grenadiers charge. Oh, not even grenadiers, regular infantry charging in. This poor. All these grenadiers are so gonna rout. We got the flanking. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Austrian cavalry is everywhere, guys. Bavaria lost their general. Austrian cavalry is surrounding this line. We are starting to see the French breaking through here, and now another assault being made. At the same time, you see France and Austria, it looks like mostly Lanz, keeping that rear guard action going, while France continually pushes the center line. Württemberg is almost behind the Austrians, so eventually the Austrians have to stop. They are about to be surrounded. This flank seems to be working out quite well at the moment. However, we do have Lanz pushing troops around, and Austria is wavering, and the center is starting to break. Oh no, this is it for Austria. Yeah, that's it for Austria. Their center has, what, four lines left. The LOC, just a bitter defense. And you see the French are actually keeping themselves away from that action. The only other Austrian army is this one, which looks like they keep charging in, hitting a square, but they are just trying their best. What a fight! What a true fight. Both sides obviously were working very hard to try to make the victory happen. Man. Both the French guys took heavy losses. I have the results on the other screen of the battle. Both sides of the French, they got probably about 12 and 1,500 losses to their army.
Men are fatigued, sir.
Starting out with, they had about 5,000 men between the two of them. Oh, okay, 8,000 men on the French side. That is a lot of troops. Trying to calculate here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 versus 8,000 men. So the Austrians were down 1,000 men. So outnumbered, actually. The coalition was definitely outnumbered in this one. We have the rest of the Austrians. Looks like they're closing in for a melee. I'm assuming part of the reason that Austria had less was because they took some cavalry. They took quite a bit of cav, it looked like, comparison to the French. The French went for the melee builds of infantry. There we go, fight it out. We have an officer. He's like, come here. All these brave guys, they've been fighting this whole time, and yet they're still pushing forward to fight once again. Now, I'm not sure if there's any bit of, no, not really. There's nothing really left. I don't think this 12th even has an officer anymore. Say what you want, the melee animations are brutal in this game still. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness, stabs in the back and he's down. Oh my goodness, he's gonna snap his neck. Oh. I do mine. Unlike some of the other games that I feel like the guys just kind of sit there for a little bit and then like this, like a you know, like swipe of a sword and that's it. These ones actually seem to have a lot of true fighting. Now, it's a lot of like, you know, you're staring them down, waiting to like stab, and then you do it and they block it or they get stabbed, you know? Like, it's probably very easy. It's not a lot of like, oh, they blocked it, now I'm going to stand and stare at them, you know? I'm not trying to bad talk some of any of the other Total War games, but the animations for hand-to-hand combat and some of those were, that's all it is bows and arrows, like, you know, the Rome, Total Wars, and all that. Shogun does a very good job, I think, of portraying it, but I think that's it. Man, what a battle. What a true battle. there will be horror. You know, these soldiers will never sleep again. At least not sleep comfortably. After remembering the Battle of Aspern-Essling. The battle where they lost 50% casualties. Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's see here. So I don't know which, let me see which, this is Eugen. Okay. So you can see Dragoons got the most kills, 196. And you have this 92nd with 192, 144, 139. Man, a lot of high kills. But let's pull up the results here so you can see. We have Standards as Bavaria. He got 780 for the kills, lost 800. You have Leshang as the Württemberg with 1406. Only took 392 losses. Did quite well. He was pushing the flank, so not as engaged. He did a lot more effective just maneuvering the enemy and forcing them to spread their lines a lot more. You have Mapov. He was playing as the Eugen. Got 1733 for the kills, took 1205 for the losses. And then you have TT Ross as Lons. He had 1802 for the kills and took 1502 for the losses. The other side, Casual with 1016, Arjans with 1195, Dante with 652, and Melkor with 672. I don't know which one was which army, but still, you can see the losses, guys. I mean, all of them took some heavy losses. Definitely be a bloody battle. Definitely would be days before it was cleaned up. And man, can you imagine the mass graves that would be dug? It would be terrible. But anyway, you know, enough about the depressing side of things. That was a glorious battle. Loved it. Victory to the Rheinbund clan, I believe. And well played by the Napoleonics as well. Even though they did lose, it was still a very well played, very hard fought victory. But yeah, anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed recording it. I thank you all still for the support you've always showed my channel. Even if I ghost you for a week or a week and a half or whatever, I know you guys understand that, you know, life happens sometimes, especially, you know, with a family and all, and I do appreciate you guys understanding. I'm going to try streaming and recording. It sounds like that was the poll kind of result. Both sides wanted, basically it was a 50-50. So I'll do a little streaming here and there so people can correct me, because someone did make that point, that people can correct me when I make stupid mistakes of calling stuff the wrong thing, and they're not wrong. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.